All right, the next method for solving a quadratic equation we're going to go over is completing the square. So how completing the square works, we're just going to go through the steps. The first thing you want to do when you got a quadratic is you want to move the constant term, which in this case is -1. We want to move that to the other side. So I'm going to add 1 to the right. So move your constant term to the right side. Okay. Our next step is if we have a coefficient in here that's greater than 1. So if you have a number in front of x, the squared term here, other than 1, we need to divide each term by that value. And so we don't have one here, so that's going to make our life a little easier. Now we need to find the value of c that makes this a perfect square. So we're going to force this to be a perfect square. So how do we do that? C is equal to b divided by 2 squared. Okay. Now, what's b? B is the coefficient of the x variable. The coefficient of the x variable. So it'd be 4 divided by 2 squared. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 squared is 4. And so whatever this value is, whatever this value of c is, I'm going to add that value to both sides of the equation. So x squared plus 4x plus 4 equals 1 plus 4. Now, why am I doing that? You're going to see why here in a moment. Now we're going to factor what's on the left side. And you're going to notice something about this. When you factor it, it's a equals 1, because just 1x squared. What multiplies to 4 and adds to 4? 2 and 2. So x plus 2 times x plus 2. So this should, if you do it correctly, this is going to factor to a perfect square. So it'd be x plus 2 squared. Okay? Now, you could also, another trick you could use that we'll talk about, what goes in this spot will always be b divided by 2. So this spot right here will always be b divided by 2. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. Equals 1 plus 4 is 5. And so now what we've got is, we can use the square root property. Okay, so we can use the square root property. We've got a quantity squared equals to a number, kind of like we did here. We had a quantity squared equals to a number. So I could take the square root of both sides. And remember, anytime we take the square root of both sides, we add a plus or minus in front. So x plus 2 is equal to, now I'm going to leave some space here in front of this, equal to plus or minus the square root of 5. Now, if I can, I'll try to simplify this. 5 is just 1 and 5. I can't do anything with that. So I'm going to get x by itself. Subtract 2. Now, remember, when you subtract 2, you do it to the front. Okay? It's called extracting the square root. Next thing you're going to evaluate is, are these like terms? This is a number, this is a square root, they're not. So my answer is -2 plus or minus the square root of 5. Now, you might, if you're doing it on your assignment on the computer, they might not accept that. They might want you to do a comma separated list. Okay, so -2 plus the square root of 5, -2 minus the square root of 5.